You can even add steps in between. For example, I'll show you. I'm going to take out this one over here, and this has ended up in an error. So to troubleshoot, you can go back each step and understand where it went wrong. So I can see that from source everything was good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the step over here. See, when you are trying to do a transformation, it will ask you if you need to insert it. Okay, so I have inserted it over here. See, now change type work. So does append query, but as I told you before, append query is creating unnecessary columns as the column names, column headers do not match. These are some AI solutions. They are actually using text analytics, means the machine learning services are actually included. We need AI functions. See, you have to do it with the organizational account. Only then you can leverage the AI solutions online. We need something like Microsoft Azure AI Builder, something like that. We will just use apply changes. Okay, go into the data view. Okay, if you see over here, there's an eye icon over here. This field or table is visible in the report view. If I'm selecting this, you see a slash over the eye icon, right? If you go over here, the table is disappeared. It's hidden. Turn it back on. Let's go back over here. Okay, now let's see what are the headers we have over here. Okay, let's get back to this query editor again, and I will try to show you some other stuff. There is a transform option over here, which is in the second tab. So we get most of the options over here in a detailed thing over here. Like you see this transform over here. You have much more other steps over here, advanced steps. These steps might be available either under this transform, or it might be also available over here. See, if you are right clicking on a table, you have some options over here as well. Most of these are available separately on the ribbon as well. You can note it over here itself. Replace values. You have replace values here as well. But there are a few advanced options. It says replace errors. In case some values in the column, for example, if you have a text column inside a date column, that we change the date type, right? So if you have any values in there, it will show up here. For now, it says like it's 100% valid. Like that means all the rows in this table are fine. They match the data type. There are no errors. You also get some other insights, like there are 637 distinct and 277 unique values over here. If you need to get a quick insights of like what are the values in there, this helps, but please note that this does not show all the values. It only shows limited. It may be 999 rows, and if you want to load further, you just need to click over there, and that's it. Okay, now on clicking this field, you can have some statistics below. Okay, so what it says is like the count is 1000. There are no errors. There are no empty columns, empty rows. There are 637 distinct. The min and max is specified over here, and these are few values that we get over here. Everything it comes under there in this column. So we can even select the column, select the row, and we can get that specific value over here. just to understand if anything might have gone wrong. Okay, I'll tell you where that could be useful. Suppose it's in this, there are errors over here now, correct? So if you look at it over here, see, this one says error 100%. It could mean in this case we know that it's a data type mismatch. If you click over here, see, you have AF, and the the data type that we set is integer, the whole number. So this is where that step comes in handy. We can understand what is the field over here, and we can try to understand what is the data type from here, and we can troubleshoot it. Okay, now I'll show you how we can work simply on this thing. Okay, so we have changed type. Okay, from promoted headers, I have changed this over here. So I don't want this actually. So what I can do is, like, I can entirely take out this step. Okay, I don't want any data type changes. But when you're doing this, make sure this step comes over here, because this is actually it kind of a last data source state. So this is how it should be. Let these actions be performed in this. That's how it goes. Let's click done. See, that step is taken out of there. So we'll have to do the date again. Country, these needs to be integers. Okay, so again, you can also hit this in manually over here. I'm just adding a new field in between. Okay, so we have new cases. I'll add new, okay, hold on, DEATHS, new debts. Let's see what happens. See, we have coded that in. So if you want to do that and learn the code properly, you can do it that way as well. But people who find it difficult to code, you can actually do it the no code way itself. You just need to click and change. That's the easy way. So the transform over here, it has a few options over here. Like we have the, as you saw before, we have the use first row as header. Transpose means it's just like we are this column is actually right now vertically. We need to make the data in this horizontally. Let's try doing that. See, it does not actually do to the single column, it does to the entire data set. There are situations where we need to use such a scenario, but it does not always come into action. Like it may not be always that useful. There are only certain cases where such a scenario comes in use. If possible, I'll try to show you a scenario wherein I have used this step. For now, let's leave it as it is. We also have some functions in statistics named as statistics, like count values, count distinct values. By doing so, it just lists the distinct values and distinct counts as a query itself. So we can reuse it as a variable or something in the when we are using functions, or even inside Power Query, we can use them as variable names. See, when we are selecting the specific data type, the other options also get selected and active. Okay, so here these are few steps that are available to us. If you see, there are other values as well, right? So I'll do one thing, I'll add a specific value to, if you see, it's written over here, enter a number to add to each value in the column. So I am trying to add 1 to everything. Okay, there, that step is created over there. There are other scientific actions as well. We can square, cube, square root, exponent. Most of the math operations happen over here. It's actually based on requirement. At this stage we won't require that. If you see, the date and type column is actually disabled over here. So if you want to use those things, you need to be selected on a date time column. Okay, so how this is useful? Suppose you need the age. It actually literally means it calculates the difference between now and the specified age. So if I am clicking it over here, it is showing me like this. Let's see what happens in the query. So see, it's actually differentiating each date from now and the specific value. That's what's happening over here. Some other stuff actually is, we can extract the year or start of the year, end of the year. There are few other functions as well. You can play around with this and you need to understand, you can try to understand what it is. Okay, if you select a year, you can get the year of the date. That's how it goes. If there is a time or duration thing available, you can get other options over here. See, if you look at over here, the data type is actually set to duration. At that time, duration is actually enabled. So we can now see what is the duration that we need. We selected this operation as age. Okay, so we have now an age column. Now if you select days, it will give you the number of days, specifically the number of days. That's how these can be clubbed together and used. Now for the add column. Okay, add column from examples. We will try to add a column from selection. Okay, so right now Power BI is recording what I am entering in. I am entering in AF underscore EMRO. Enter. So Power BI has identified what we have typed in and how it is related to these two columns. Okay, it has understood that I am trying to type in the first column, that is country code, separated by, and the EMRO, which is the second column, which will be separated by an underscore. So after I hit enter, it will generate a pattern and it will create remainingly. Okay, let's see, I clicked OK, and now let me try to choose a different country. See, it's AL EURO, and that's how it is created. So that's how creating columns from examples work. For a custom column, we can actually create columns with formulas. Same thing, when we created it from example, there's actually a formula generated for it. So we just need to key in that manually. I'll show you a simple example. What I did is I double click the new dates thing, or you can just add the new cases. Okay, you can either add these two. Note that these two are numerical columns, so you can just add these two, or just simply I am adding a 5 with each of the cases. and see the new column is created along with the desired value.